Hello, Year 6. Welcome to our final session, session 3 of our Teaching Live Dragon Poetry. So if I'm honest, I'm going to keep this one quite short today because I know my past two videos have been quite long in terms of expectations and what we want you to get done. But actually, I spent a really long time this evening writing some feedback for each and every poem that I've received that's been handed in. And I'm actually amazed by some of the poetry that I've read this evening. I'm seriously impressed. Lots of it is just so well thought out and well considered that I don't feel like I have too much now to talk to you about, apart from a couple of spag errors, us thinking about our grammar, agreeing, and just some punctuation-y bits. So I'm going to talk you now through the simpler things that I've seen that I'd just like you to go back and check your work for. But generally speaking, look at the comment that I've made in the marking box and try to change or adapt what I've asked you to adapt. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through my poem, and what I've done is I've made lots of mistakes. I've done that to try and talk you through and show some examples of what I found in the marking so far. So I'm going to read it through, and hopefully you'll hear by me reading it aloud some of the mistakes that are clear throughout the poem. And I want you to try and see if, as I'm reading it, you can spot any mistakes that I've made. That could be in grammar, that could be spelling, that could be punctuation. All right. So, a soaring, flaming skeleton, like a serrated knife, the cerulean dragon stalking the skies. The reeking odour of its burning flesh choked the innocent air that it slices through. The stench of residue, acrid smoke, leaking from its leering jaw, waiting to scorch its next victim. The dragon's thorny spine, threatening to attack, stood in enraged crescent moons. Its wide charcoal wings, as dark as a black hole, whipped ferociously through the angry night sky. Okay, so I've read a few poems like this tonight, which have amazing content, seriously impressive images. We are straying massively away from those cliches now. Really, really original similes and metaphors, which is amazing to see. However, it's things such as tense agreement that has become a bit of a problem. Okay, so what we've got throughout our different sentences is some of them will be past tense, like choked, like whipped. And then some of our words, stalking, is present tense. So we've got some present tense, some past tense. Now what I'm going to do, it doesn't actually really matter if you choose to do it all in present or all in past, but you do need to make sure that it is either all in present or all in past, and that there's not both of them. So I'm going to change it to present. So a soaring, flaming skeleton. I know that these two here, they end in ing, and we often think that they will be verbs, but in this context, this is an expanded noun phrase, because there's our noun, there's our determiner, and we've got two adjectives to describe the skeleton. And then the expanded noun phrase goes this way because it says like a serrated knife. Therefore, they aren't verbs, so we don't need to change them. So a soaring, flaming skeleton, like a serrated knife, the cerulean dragon stalking the skies. What that needs to be, I'm going to change all of mine to present tense, should be stalks the skies. Okay. What I've also, hopefully that you've noticed, what I've also missed is there's no full stop. Lots of us are missing our full stops. Full stops and capital letters have to be present on your poem. Absolutely no excuses. Please also keep in mind that we are going to print these off and put them into your writing books because they are incredible and we deserve to have a record of them and just to keep them because of your incredibly hard work. But full stops and capital letters are needed. Next sentence. The reeking odour of its burning flesh choked the innocent air that it slices through. So the reeking odour of its burning flesh choked I'm going to change that to chokes. So chokes the innocent air that it slices through. The stench, so that needs to become a capital letter. The stench of residue, acrid smoke. Residue, acrid smoke. Those are both adjectives describing the smoke, which is the noun. So I need a comma for a list there. Residue and acrid are two different adjectives, so I need to list those. So the stench of residue, acrid smoke, leaking from its leering jaw, waiting to scorch its next victim. So that needs to be leaks from its leering jaw, waiting to scorch its next victim. Then it agrees. This here, because of this contraction apostrophe that's currently there, it's, whenever you see it's with an apostrophe, it means it is. So if we read this, the stench of residue, acrid smoke, leaks from its leering jaw, waiting to scorch it is next victim. It is not an apostrophe that's needed there. The reason why is this is a pronoun. It acts as a possessive pronoun. It's next victim, the victim of the acrid smoke. Be really careful. Lots of us are using its, and we're using its incorrectly. We're using an apostrophe when it shouldn't have an apostrophe. So I'm just checking. I've also got a full stop at the end. So the dragon's thorny spine. So the thorny spine is the thorny spine of the dragon. So the dragon's thorny spine, the dragon is the owner of that thorny spine. Therefore, we need a possessive apostrophe to say the thorny spine of the dragon. So the dragon's thorny spine, threatening to attack, stood in enraged crescent moons. Stood is past tense. So I'm changing that to stands in enraged crescent moons. Next sentence. First of all, hopefully you've seen we have a capital letter missing. Again, it's wide charcoaled wings. Is that it is? No. It's the pronoun it's. It's wide charcoal wings. Here we have the noun, adjective, adjective. So hopefully you've realised we're missing a comma. It's wide charcoal wings, as dark as a black hole, whipped ferociously through the angry night sky. Full stop. I'm trying to make it all present tense, so it's got to be whips ferociously through the angry night sky. Its wide charcoal wings, as dark as a black hole. And actually, it shouldn't be whips, it should be whip. And the reason I know that is because this, as dark as a black hole, should be parenthesized. So remember, parenthesis is where you use 3 different types of punctuation and you use a pair of them. And what you're saying is I'm dropping that information in and the rest of the main clause is around the sentence. So the main clause is, its wide charcoal wings whip ferociously through the angry night sky. And then we're dropping in as dark as a black hole, which is a phrase. So we parenthesize that by using commas. We could also use dashes or we could use brackets, but for this instance, I'm using commas. So it's wide charcoal wings, as dark as a black hole, whip ferociously through the angry night sky. So we have here a soaring flaming skeleton like a serrated knife, the cerulean dragon stalks the skies. The reeking odour of its burning flesh chokes the innocent air that it slices through. The stench of residue acrid smoke leaks from its leering jaw, waiting to scorch its next victim. The dragon's thorny spine, threatening to attack, stands in enraged crescent moons. Its wide charcoal wings, as dark as a black hole, whip ferociously through the angry night sky. So from that, you should now have a poem that agrees. I want you to go back and read through yours, think about what I've asked you to do, and from that, think about what I've asked you to do, read through the guidance that I've given you so that you can act upon it and make your poem as best as it can be. But you've got really great poems so far. Once that's done, click on the link on the assignment for the blogging challenge and go to afternoon session, which is just at the top. go down and type, and what you need to do is you need to go to blog challenge. There is the example poem, but if you go to the bottom, they've got some tips. What you need to do is write the title of your blog post here. So I could put in, you can come up with an original name, but I'm just going to put in the dragon. I'm just showing you how to enter your work. Then says write your first name. So what I would like, just write your first name in there. And at the bottom, it asks you to tick the school. If you tick the school, it goes into a little area at the side for us, which is just here. So this is our area. So we'll look at that. Then, okay, so in this part, at the top of your blog post, I want you to write your name, an H for home, and an S for school, if you've been in school, with EPP. SA. Then write again the title of your poem. Some of you have got fantastic titles, really thought about your title. Then what I want you to do is go to where your document is saved and it's all ready to go. And what you need to do, click on it, right click, go to copy, and then go back to that page and paste your poem into there. By doing that, it's ready to go. Then you go down to the bottom, again click blogging from home, agree to the policy, and then submit it. I'm not going to do that. There is one of those things that you have to click the boxes and say where the traffic lights are and things like that. Just double check and make sure you've done that accurately, because I didn't the other day and it didn't upload some poems until I went back and realised I'd done it. And then what we'd really, really love is our fab Lewis from Eden Park. Well done. You've already popped something on there. Brilliant. You can read your poem by clicking onto here. You then get a Padlet here. And if you click on this little 3-dot section and go to voice, it will start the microphone, and what I would like you to do is to read your poem into the audio, really thinking about being really expressive, using really good intonation, thinking about your pauses just for effect, and really stress some particular words. Just practice it aloud, and then do that when you're ready. And then they do take a while to be approved, so try to do it in the morning. Oh, I think some of these may be from last week. Oh, fabulous. But give it a go. We would love to hear some of your audios on there as well. If you need any help, I'm available all day. Try to get it uploaded in the morning so it gives time for the children, not for the children, it gives time for your work to be approved so it can be popped on there. Well done. They're all looking fantastic. Great job.